Hello ladies, welcome to the code G.E.N, G.E.N, which stands for Growth Embodiment Now. We will grow, we will embody, and we will do it now. We will go deep, very deep, and trust me, I didn't listen to my intuition until I started listen to my intuition. I am Adriana Rustgi, transformation coach, soul healer, and an official translator of the things that your intuition's been trying to tell you for, let's be honest, years. This space is for women like you, smart, accomplished, capable. You've done that thing, career, family, responsibilities, but lately something's been whispering. Wait a second, whose life is this again? If you've catch yourself wondering, what do I actually want? Why am I so good at taking care of everyone except myself? Is it too late to completely rewrite the script? Let me be the first to say, no, it's not too late. You are not too much. And yes, there is more, so much more. Here in the code G.E.N, we blend real talk with real transformation. We'll unpack the sneaky family patterns, the solve the guilt, clear the inherited BS, if you know what I mean, and help you remember who you were before the world told you who to be. So, my love, kick off your high heels, leave your bra in the closet. You are not here to perform. You're here to come home, to your body, to your truth, to that inner voice that's quietly plotting your glow up. Ready? Let's begin. Hello. Welcome back to the code G.E.N. My name is Adriana and I'm really glad you're here. So grab your tea, kick your shoes off, leave your bra in the closet, and find the one spot in the house where nobody asking you for anything. We are going somewhere good today. And it's been a little while. You might have noticed that quiet. And I'm telling you, I was away, traveling, and spent real unhurried time with my son and the woman he's going to marry soon, my future daughter-in-law. Days with nowhere to be, long meals, cooking, a lot, really. My son loves to cook, a lot of laughing, real conversation. And watching my son building love of his own and getting to know the woman he chose, I don't have a word big enough for what that word to me. So I let myself be all the way in it. No phone. No, I should be recording, I should be working. Not this time. Just there. And honestly, that's a little bit of what today is about. Letting yourself receive the good thing instead of holding the whole world up on your own. So thank you for waiting. I'm really glad to be back with you. In our last episode, we opened the archive. I talked about everything your body has been quietly storing, the memories your mind forgot, the patterns from people you never even met. If you haven't heard episode 5 yet, go back to it after this one. It's the ground we are standing on today. Today we go one step further, because it's one thing to know your body is holding all of that. It's another thing to feel it fire in real time in the room before you've even decided anything. That's where we are going. To the thing that runs you before your thinking brain has had its coffee. Let me start with the woman I know well. She has a title, the team, the office with her own name on the door, or the practice, or the company she built from nothing. From the outside, her life photographs beautifully. And somewhere between the board meeting and the school run, a quiet question started following her home. Who am I now? And why does all of this feel so empty? She's done the work, by the way. Read the books, hired the coach, sat through the weekend retreats. And I think that tightness her chest before a hard conversation still fires before she's finished her first sentence. She spent decades climbing toward one quiet hope that one day someone, Mom, would finally look at her and say, "You are enough." The applause came, the promotion came, that one sentence never did. If any of that just landed somewhere in your body, stay with me. Today is the day we go to where it actually lives. And at the end, I'm going to tell you something I've never told you on this podcast about me, about my watch. Before we go in, if you are new here, I want to give you something. I've written a free ebook that explains exactly what the code is, what it means, where it comes from, and how you start reading yours. It's the simplest way in. Link is in the episode description. Start there. Read it slowly and let what lands actually land. Okay, let's begin. Here is something almost nobody tells the accomplished woman. You can read every book on leadership. You can do the mindset work, hire the coach, master your own thinking. And then think that tightness your chest before a negotiation will still fire before you finish your first sentence. Because it was never living in your thinking. It lives in your body. We treat it like a thinking problem. Find the right frame, push through. And then we are confused when the inside never reached the part of us that actually brains it. So let me give you the science because I believe you will like it. Your nervous system is a threat detection system and it runs in milliseconds. When you walk into a room, the older, fastest part of your brain, the amygdala, scans it for danger and reacts long before the thinking part of you, which means the prefrontal cortex, has caught up to cast its vote. By the time your rational mind says, "Hey, there is nothing to be afraid of here," your body has already tightened, already braced, and already answered. And I want you to know this is not a weakness. This is biology doing exactly what it was built to do, protect you. Fast before a slower decision could get you killed. Thousands of years ago, that half second saved your life. The trouble is that your nervous system doesn't keep great time. It can't always tell the difference between a real threat in front of you and an old one it learned to expect a very long time ago. So, a hard board member, a room where you are the only woman, a moment where you have to ask for something, your body reads them through a much older lens, and it answers before you do. That's why willpower keeps failing you right here. You are trying to outthink a system that was never designed to be reached by thinking. And now let me tell you what that looked like in my own body years ago before I knew a single thing I know now. I had the decision to make about the property. Sell it, clear the loan, and put what was left into my daughter's hands. Simple, yes? For me, for you, but not to the bank. They said no. So, to have a conversation with them, to convince them, I drove 100 kilometers there and 100 back into a room full of people I had never met to sit across from the president of the bank and his whole team and make my case. And my body went somewhere I couldn't follow. I didn't have the tools then. I didn't know how to bring myself down, how to work with what was rising in me. So it just rose. At some point, someone offered me a glass of water. I smiled, of course, thank you, and reached for it. And in the half second before my hand even closed around the glass, I already regretted saying yes, because I understood too late how hard my body had been working the whole time to look calm. My nervous system simply could not hold what that room was costing me. I lifted the glass and I was certain the water would go everywhere, over my hand, down onto my clothes. And what gripped me wasn't the mess, it was that every person at the table was about to see in one trembling glass exactly how frightened I was. Frightened when a moment earlier I hadn't even felt afraid. That's the part I want you to catch. My body had already answered. It had braced and decided and started to shake milliseconds ahead of anything my mind would have called fear. I only caught up to it on the way to my mouth. That is the whole thing I just described to you lived from the inside. And the reason I can walk into that same kind of room today and lift the glass with the steady hand is not that I learned to think brave though. It's that I taught my body a different answer. That's the work, and it can be learned at any age. And here's where the last episode came in. Remember the archive, what your body has been storing. Some of what fires in you didn't even start in your life. Caution, you cannot explain the bracing that starts before there is anything to brace again. Sometimes the pattern is older than you are. We went deep into that in episode 5, the body remembering what the mind was never taught. So I'm not going to reteach it today. I just want you to hold both halves together now. There is the old recording, what your body stored, and there is the live wire, how that recording fires in the room in real time before you've decided, the archive and the alarm. And the alarm has a cost. You can usually find it long before a woman will say a word about it. In the shoulder that's been tied for 3 years, in the jaw she clenches in her sleep, in the throat that closes in the one room where she most needs to speak. From the outside, everything looks fine. That's the most dangerous place a woman can be, because nobody sees the cost and she doesn't feel allowed to name it aloud. So she keeps going, and underneath it all there is a one role running the whole thing. Let's name it. Almost every woman I work with lives by a role she never once agreed to aloud. It goes like this. I can't rely on anyone. I have to handle everything myself. She didn't choose that on a good day with full information. She aborted it somewhere early in a moment when she needed someone to stand beside her, and no one did. And in that silence, a very smart little girl drew a very logical conclusion. If I want to be safe, I'm on my own. And here's the thing, it worked. That role made her formidable. It built her career, it carried the family through the years that would have flattened other people. The woman everyone leans on was forget in a moment when she couldn't lean on anyone. There is a strange, painful elegance to that. But the role that made her also left her alone at the top. She can run a company and not know how to let her own partner carry one thing for one evening. She can hold 300 people's livelihoods and not be able to say out loud to one person, I need help, because asking was never safe. Receiving was never safe. Somewhere it got weird in that needing anyone is how to get hurt. So she gives and gives and gives, and quietly underneath, she's the family's phone charger plugged into everyone while her own battery sits at 2%. And she calls it strength. We were all taught to call it strength. It isn't strength. It is an old rule running in the dark that you never actually agreed to. And that's the good news, even though it doesn't sound like it yet. Anything you learn, you can unlearn. A role that was written can be rewritten. Let me show you how that's even possible, and then I'll show you it's real, because it happened to me too. If that role just sounded a little too familiar, if something in your chest went quiet when I said, I have to handle everything myself, I want you to know there is a place to start. The ebook walks you through exactly this, what your code is, where it came from, and the first real step. It is in the description, and it's a gentle way. And if you feel ready to go deeper to do this with the guide in a health space, my one-on-one session are linked below too. You don't have to carry this one alone. It's kind of the whole point. For a long time, she assumed she was simply who she became. The braced version of herself, the one who performs and never quite rests, the one who's just not relaxed by nature, who doesn't really do vulnerable, who has always been like this. It isn't fixed. A body that learned the pattern can also unlearn it. This is the most hopeful thing science has handed us, and it's not wishful thing. It's neuroplasticity. You have to know that your brain keeps forming new connections your entire life. At your 50 and 60 and 70, the old idea that you are set in stone by middle life is simply wrong. A nervous system that learned very young to brace and to go it alone can be taught gently with the right work. That this room is not that room, that you are not that little girl anymore. And I won't hand you abstraction because abstraction don't change about it. So let me show you the after in something you can actually feel. She wakes up before the alarm and just lies there a second, watching the lights come across the bedroom wall. She gets up, and the stiffness that met her every single morning isn't running the show. She lets her partner handle the whole evening and doesn't hover. She catches a stranger's eyes in the line and smiles for no reason at all. And the big one, the one that undoes her a little, when it finally comes, she stands up in a room full of people and she speaks. No card shaking in her hand, her own voice. every word. That's not fantasy. It's a nervous system that finally learned it's safe. Let's give your body a small taste of it right now. We are not going into the archive today. We did this last week. Today we are going something the rule never let you do. We are going to practice being safe and being helped. If you are driving, keep your eyes open and just listen. Your body hears everything. If you are somewhere you can, let your shoulders drop and unclench your jaw. Take one slow breath in through your nose and a longer breath out through your mouth. Longer out than in, because that's how you tell your nervous system it can stand down. And now look around the room you are in. Really look. Let your eyes land on 3 real things: the wall, the window, your own hands. This is now. Nothing in this room needs you to praise. Let your body collect that evidence. I'm here, and here is safe. And now, a little bit harder part. The part the rule has been blocking for years. I want you to imagine someone standing just behind your left shoulder. Someone steady. Someone who has nothing they need from you. They are simply there. So that for once you are not the only one holding it all. You don't have to know who they are. Just let your body feel what it's like to not be alone with the weight. And now, say it quietly inside. Let it drop past your thinking and into the body. It's safe to be carried to. I don't have to earn my place. I'm already enough. I can let someone stand beside me. I'm safe now. That was then. I'm here now. Whatever moved, softening, breath, a little ache behind the eyes, that's your body saying, oh, we are allowed to put some of this down. Stay there a moment. The body always needs a little more time than the mind thinks it should. And when you are ready, take a gentle breath in and come back to the room and the sound of my voice. And now, let me tell you why I know this works. Not from book, not from other things, but from my own life. I've told you about the woman I work with today. I'm telling you about me. I was 52 years old before I could stand in front of 5 women and speak without the card shaking in my hands. 5, not the stadium. 5 women on a screen. From the outside, I would already done everything right. I would run a vast farm, made a decision that touched whole families, carried seasons and harvest and numbers of my own 2 shoulders. a strong, capable woman by every visible measure. And inside, an 8-year-old was still waiting to be told she was enough. So let me take you back to where she learned the rule. When I was a girl, my father gave me a watch. To anyone else, it was the small thing. To me, it was everything, because it was his, and it meant I was his, and it meant I mattered to someone. I wore it like a proof. There was a man in the house then, my mother's partner, and one day, over that watch, there was a moment. I'm not going to give you every detail because the detail isn't the point. The feeling is. What I remember, it looks up, it in that moment, toward my mother, waiting for her to step in, waiting for her to stand between me and the harm, to say, "Not my daughter." And she looked away. That's it. That's the whole vow. Not dramatic scene, a silence. A little girl holding the one thing that told her she mattered, looking to the one person who was supposed to protect her, and meeting turned head. And in that silence, an 8-year-old made a decision that would run the next 4 decades of her life. I'm on my own. No one is coming. If I want to be safe, I have to handle everything myself. And underneath even that, the quietest one, I must not be worth standing up for. She climbed on that role. She built a whole formidable life on it. And it cost her her voice and her rest and the ease in her own body until she was past 50. Here is the part I really want you to hear. I didn't heal that by understanding it. I would understood it for years. I held it by going back into my body, into that exact moment, and finally giving the 8-year-old what no one gave her then. Someone standing beside her, someone saying, "You were always worth protecting." And the tension, I would carry it for years, let go. The woman who couldn't read in front of 5 people now speaks on stages in 2 languages and argues comfortably with doctors who've trained for decades. Same woman, different code. I'm not telling you this is so you will feel for me. That wound is healed. I'm not handing you an open one. I'm telling you because if any of this has been landing in your body while I talk, the bracing the roll, your own version of the watch, then you already know the real work was never more thinking. It's going to where it actually lives. And finally, putting it down. So here is what I want you to carry out today. The thing that runs you was never character flaw, and it was never in your head. It fires in your body faster than thought, and it answers an old role you never agreed to out loud. And every bit of that, because your nervous system is still learning at every single age, can be unlearned. Tonight, ask yourself one quiet question. What is the role I've been living by that I never actually choose? Don't fix it. Just let your body answer. That's usually where the real work begins. And just to let you know, here are 2 ways to keep going. The first is the ebook, the clearest, simplest way to understand your code. What is that, where it came from, and what's possible when you start to rewrite it. Start there. Read it slowly. Let it work on you. The second is a one-on-one session with me. This is the deep work. We go in together. We find a role that's been running you from behind the scene and we start to change it at the level that actually matters. This isn't for everyone, but if something in your body say yes while you were listening today, trust that. Both links are in the episode description. You don't have to figure it out which one is right. Start with the ebook. It will show you. Thank you for being here, for staying, for doing the quiet, invisible kind of work that nobody claps for. You are always worth standing up for, even when no one did. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, you are not behind, you are not too late, and you are not too much. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Take your insights, spread them in, and let them move with you into your thoughts, your choices, your life. If this episode touched you, subscribe to the Code Gen. Share it with your best friend, your sister, your mother, your lovely auntie. Share it with a woman who needs this reminder, and let's spread this ripple of freedom together. And if your heart is whispering, I want more, this is your invitation. Join me for my signature 90-day transformational journey, Unlock Your Life Code. One-on-one mentoring designed to help you break the circle, embody your truth, and create the life you've been waiting for. The link is in the show notes. Because this is not just transformation. This is reclamation. This is embodiment. This is now. With all love, Adriana. See you in next episode.